Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Good evening. This is the National News Telecast. I'm Movin Hettiarachchi.
And I'm Kasani Balachandra Adhikari. We start off with a look at your headlines for tonight.
Inaugural session of the 10th Parliament to be held tomorrow. The government is prepared with its policy statement and the national television will be airing a live telecast of the session. The Cabinet grants approval to import 70,000 metric tons of Nadu rice. Asian Development Bank approves a loan of $200 million to sustain the economic stabilization efforts in Sri Lanka. A committee appointed to investigate the appointment of Ravi Karunanayake into the national list. Media Minister Nalinda Jayatissa is ready to create a media culture that is accountable for the people. Harin Fernando released on bail. A-level student killed in earth slip. US Embassy in Ukraine temporarily closed.
We move on to those and other stories in detail, and in your top local story tonight, the Asian Development Bank has approved a policy-based loan of $200 million to Sri Lanka to strengthen the finance sector.
The Asian Development Bank granted this loan under the second schedule of the Programme for Stability and Reforms of the Financial Sector. This will be based on the measures of stabilizing and conflict management activities implemented under the first schedule, which was approved last year. The Asian Development Bank has announced that this loan has been approved to eliminate Sri Lanka's poverty and to enter a sustainable economic access as well. Country's Director of Asian Development Bank, Takafumi Kando, says that Sri Lanka has achieved successful progress on stabilizing macroeconomic conditions and enhancing financial status. He further said that through economic reforms introduced by the ADB, long-term economic growth in Sri Lanka is expected.
Now, the government has decided to import 70,000 metric tons of Nadu rice to ease the shortage of this rice variety. And at a press briefing held today, Minister Vasant Samarasinghe said that these rice stocks will be distributed by Sathusa and State General Trade Corporation.
Minister Vasant Samarasinghe said under the guidance of the President, Cabinet has decided to import 70,000 metric tons of rice. He said that Sathusa and State General Trade Corporation have been given permission to import these rice as a short-term measure to ease the shortage of rice. He added that these rice will be issued to the market before the 15th of December and that accordingly price of kilo of rice cannot be sold more than 220 rupees. He said that the price may be less than that. Minister further said that Sathusa outlets will set these rice at the scheduled price. He said that when paddy harvests of the Maha season come to market, the price of paddy should be higher. Consumers should also provide rice as a concessionary price. Minister Samarasinghe said that the rice mafia is attempting to create a shortage and increase the price with the whim of the earning excessive profits. He said the government has taken decision to control the price at an increased market rate. He said that if any traders stocks rice without issuing to the market, strong action will be taken against such cuts.
බිලියන ගණන් ණය දෙනවා. ඒ ණය වලින් ඒගොල්ලෝ වී අරගෙන ගබඩා කරලා තියා ගන්නවා. ගොවියගෙන් රුපියල් 70ට 80ට වී අරගෙන සහල් රුපියල් 240ට විකුණනවා. ව්‍යාපාරයක් කරන කෙනෙක් ලාභ ලබනවා.
Prime Minister Dr. Harin Fernando says that the problem erupted in the Ruhunu University will be solved soon. She made this comment at a discussion held in the Prime Minister's office yesterday. Academic, non-academic and student unions of the Ruhunu University have started a trade union action demanding immediate removal of the Vice-Chancellor of the university. Trade union representatives met the Prime Minister last evening to discuss this matter. Senior lecturer Charuda Tilangasinghe said that this matter has been discussed several times in the past, but no solution was given. He said that this is why they took a trade union action over this matter, and he added that all parties urged the Vice-Chancellor to be removed.
In the meantime, all arrangements have been finalized to ceremoniously open the inaugural session of the 10th Parliament at 10 a.m. tomorrow. President Anurkumar is scheduled to present the government's policy statement at 11:30 a.m. tomorrow. The national television is ready to telecast this event from 10 a.m. onwards.
The first session of the 10th Parliament will be ceremoniously inaugurated tomorrow, and the Parliament will meet at 10 a.m. Sergeant-at-Arms of the Parliament, Kushanjaya Ratna, says that all arrangements have been finalised in this regard. A rehearsal in this connection was
1st of November at 10 a.m. I will inform the House that the first task before the House will be to appoint a new Speaker of Parliament by secret ballot. So I will invite the members to suggest or propose a suitable candidate for that position. And upon making the proposal for the post of a new Speaker of Parliament, it has to be seconded by another member. And accordingly, if there are no more suggestions or nominations, then of course the candidate who has been nominated will be announced as the duly elected Speaker of the House. And that member will be accompanied by the proposer and the seconder, and he will walk up to the chair of the Honourable Speaker. And at that point, I will administer the official oath or the affirmation of the new Speaker of Parliament. And after taking the oath or the affirmation, the new Speaker will make a very brief, he will express his thanks briefly while standing, and then all the members of Parliament will have to take their affirmation or the oath before the Speaker. And after making the affirmation or the oath, the Speaker will officially make his thanks to the House. And at that occasion, the members, political party leaders from the opposition and the government can congratulate the newly appointed, newly elected Speaker. And after that, the new Speaker will move on to the process of appointing the Deputy Speaker and the Deputy Chairman of committees. And the process will be the same, but it will be administered by the Honourable Speaker, and we will be giving the assistance, due assistance. And for these two posts also, if there are no nominations, if just one nomination is made, that person will be appointed as the Deputy Speaker or the Deputy Chairman of committees. And if there are two or more nominations, we will move on to the process of secret ballot. So after that, the Speaker will suspend the House until 3 p.m. At 3 o'clock, the Honourable President of the Republic will be making his policy statement to the House of Parliament. So at that time, after suspending, around 2:45 p.m., the new President will be received by the Honourable Speaker and the Secretary General of Parliament at the steps of the Parliament.
A rehearsal in this connection was held at the Parliament premises today. After ringing the quorum bell at 9:55 a.m, the Parliament is to convene at 10 a.m. After placing the maids in the lobby as the first duty of the day, the General Secretary will announce the extraordinary Gazette notification issued by the President mentioning the date and time of the Parliamentary meeting. Later, the Speaker will be selected and he will take oath. After that, the Deputy Speaker and the Deputy Chairman of committees will be selected on the first day. Seats will not be specially allocated for the parliamentarians. Accordingly, they will be able to sit at any chair according to their consent. The President will chair the House and scheduled to present the government's policy statement by 11:30 a.m. And the President has also instructed to hold the inaugural session in a very simple manner.
The Parliament process is carried forward mainly based on convention.
However, if the parliamentary convention can be changed to suit the changing global trends, the people will be more lenient towards the parliament politics. The people in Sri Lanka changed the tradition after 76 years, and this is an investigatory approach for the historic change occurred in Sri Lanka recently. Colonial masters introduced the parliamentary tradition and system to Sri Lanka as a testing initiative to implement Westminster format, which was the tradition in England at that time. Accordingly, 1833 to 1947, the ruling system introduced by the English was existing in Sri Lanka. And in 1947, the first parliament was created here under the Salisbury government system. It was implemented until the introduction of the first Republic Constitution in 1972. The special feature of the parliamentary system is that the public has the opportunity to select their representatives through their franchise. However, in 1978, new constitution was introduced to Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka with many changes in the parliament, responsibility and structure. Under the new constitution in 1978, the first executive presidency and the selection of parliamentarians through the proportional representation system were introduced. Accordingly, the first parliament with 225 public representatives was set up under the Second Republic Constitution of 1978. The parliamentary representation system started in 1947 and the 17th parliamentary election was held this time. The election was also the 10th election conducted under the proportional representation system. Therefore, the parliament is considered as the 10th parliament of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka. Under the general election system, parliamentary seats were divided between the ruling and opposition parties. Since 1978 up to now, people experience proportionally electing members to ruling and opposition parties. However, government secured a two-third majority with the support of Sinhala, Tamil and Muslim communities at the 1977 general election. Special feature of this election is that all communities joined together under a common objective for the first time in history. This time, parliamentary representation was open for a special social group unprecedented. It is the election of a parliamentarian with special needs. This parliamentarian is a person with impaired vision, and accordingly the parliament staff has to plan special arrangement to provide access to the house for such a person with special needs. The 10th parliament reflects the people's historic decision taken this time to totally reject the conventional old political system with the aim of getting solutions for their unsolved problems for a period of 76 years after independence. Accordingly, the 10th Parliament consists of a majority of new parliamentarians with the potential of changing the existing Westminster system in order to represent the will of the common masses.
Four ministers assumed their duties today at their respective ministries. Minister of Education, Higher Education, Vocational Education, Prime Minister Dr. Harin Fernando assumed duties at the ministry. Prime Minister Dr. Harin Fernando said that the new government will focus on developing the human resources of this country and dedicate to work towards that end. Minister of Transport, Highways, Ports and Civil Aviation Bimal Ratnayaka also assumed his duties today. Minister Bimal Ratnayaka said that this government is friendly and lean towards workers, therefore the workers can negotiate with this government. People appointed to this government safeguard all countrymen. High officials have also a set of responsibilities. The minister said that 50% of the troubles reported in workplace are directly connected to the egos of various people. Identify problems and working towards solving them is a part of the responsibilities of the government officers, the minister stated. Professor Harin Fernando assumed his duties today as the Ministry of Labour. The minister said that the major task that could be fulfilled is correcting the mobilizing the workforce. Therefore, he said the various limitations are in the process and mobilizing labor is highly competitive. The minister said that the new government will work towards to improve the labor skills that lead to global competitiveness. Samantha Vidyarathne assumed his duties as the Minister of Plantation and Community Infrastructure at his ministry today. The minister said that the MPP promised to build a prosperous country and usher in a new era of good life for the people. He said the ministry under him can play a major role towards that end.
Representatives of the sister parties of the New Democratic Front met today as well to take a decision on the remaining National List parliamentary seat. It is reported that, however, a final decision has not yet been taken. The meeting was held under the patronage of former President Ranil Wickremesinghe with the representatives of the supportive parties. The stakeholders of the New Democratic Front said that the appointment of Ravi Karnanaike to the national list is illegal and it has led to breach their trust. A decision was also taken to appoint an independent committee to look into this matter. Accordingly, lawyers Kumar Dunusinghe and Indika Veraguda, Dr. Vithanage will be appointed and lawyer Yasas De Silva will be the committee secretary. The report of the committee is to be submitted to the UNP leader Ranil Wickremesinghe within a period of 3 weeks. It has also been decided to hand over the report to the UNP Working Committee. Asad Sali of the New Democratic Front said that no one is against Kanchana. He said that Faiza Mustafa is also there and he added that they are the front runners. He also mentioned that one seat should be given to the UNP as the major party and that, however, such a thief should not be named for that. Asad Sali said he stresses that a better person or a youth should have been named for this slot. Secretary of the New Democratic Front, Sharmila Perera, issued a media announcement today and clarified the appointment of Ravi Karnanaike to the national list. She said that the sister parties have agreed in the MOU signed with the party that at least one national list slot will be allocated to the New Democratic Front. Sharmila Perera pointed out that accordingly Ravi Karnanaike was named for the national list in line with the MOU.
Former parliamentarian Lasantha Legiavanna says that as a party they should be ashamed to appoint a member from the national list according to the election results this time. He made these remarks at a press briefing held in Colombo today. General Secretary of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, Lasantha Legiavanna, said that they have to be humble regarding this election result and should take measures to correct themselves in the future. He said that they should be ashamed regarding the appointment of a national list parliamentarian. He added that this is a shortcoming. He said that the party cannot do further politics with such an environment, saying that therefore Sri Lanka Freedom Party should reorganize, correcting its lapses. Lasantha Legiavanna said that the political party should understand the message given by the people through this election result. He said it seems the opposition politicians have not realized the situation so far and said that the disciplined political parties will have a correct shortcomings and be disciplined in the future.
Leader of the Samagijana Balawege, Sajid Premadasa, says that he's ready to start a progressive and conducive journey by correcting their shortcomings. And he made these remarks at a media briefing held following a meeting at the SJB headquarters. The SJB Parliamentary Group meeting was held today under the patronage of Sajid Premadasa. Party representatives and group of members were present at this meeting. After the meeting, they expressed their views to media. Leader of the Samagijana Balawege, Sajid Premadasa, says that as a team they could not win the hearts of the majority of people in this country at this election. He said that they will search for the shortcomings on their part and correct themselves to create a political culture for the betterment of people. Ganta Karnatilaka said that they will continue their duty for the country as the main opposition. He said that they will correct their weaknesses and advance as a single political entity. A meeting of the new parliamentarians who were elected from the National People's Power was held today at the Janta Vimukti Peramuna headquarters. The new parliamentarians were educated on the government's future development program and the role that should be played by parliamentarians and ministers. The meeting was held under the patronage of Prime Minister Dr. Hani Amrusurya. The new parliamentarians also joined a tour within the parliament premises. Namal Karunaratne said they will not breach the trust of people and the trust that people have placed on them at the general election. He said that they will work for the people and create a new political culture in this country.
The appeals court today confirmed the death sentence issued by Thangal. The High Court to a suspect who is alleged to have killed two persons and have caused a fatal injury to another. The suspect is Gigi Amarasiri alias Julampiti Amare under the charge of attacking JP rally held in Katuane area in 2012 and committed these killings and injuring a person. The Attorney General has filed the case before the Thangal High Courts. The suspect is Julampiti Amare has filed an appeal at the Court of Appeal requesting him to be acquitted from releasing him from the case. In his appeal, the suspect has said that the evidence given by the respondents at the High Court was not considered by the judge. Considering the appeal court judges stated that they are unable to mediate the death sentence issued by the High Court judge. Accordingly, the death sentence against the respondent was confirmed by the Court of Appeals as well.
Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa says that all should be committed to establishing a media culture that is accountable for people. The minister stated that at a media meeting held with the heads of media institutions at the Ministry of Mass Media. Minister said that the Cabinet of Ministers works according to a national plan in this country. However, such a thing never happened in the past. Ministry of Mass Media is simply not just another ministry, and that Media Ministry is also combined with the Department of Government Information. However, media units of certain ministries became more powerful than the Media Ministry set up in the past. For example, President's Media Unit is so powerful, and some of those media units were set up to hype the personal image of the relevant minister. The minister said that those malpractices will be culminated under this government, and the Media Ministry will be given back its true role. The dedication of the new government is to increase the professionalism amongst the mainstream and provincial journalists. The minister pointed out that sometimes some journalists have fallen into various cheap traps due to their various difficulties. The new government is ready to eliminate such situations, and the government is also ready to grant full freedom to journalists, he mentioned. It is their responsibility to use that freedom in a responsible manner.
රජයක් හැටියට අපි රට ඉස්සරහට අරගෙන යන අනුගමනය කරන ප්‍රතිපත්ති සහ වැඩපිළිවෙල ජනතාවට සමීප කරන එක සහ ජනතාවගේ පැත්තෙන් අවශ්‍ය කරන විදිහේ ඒ ජනතාවගේ ප්‍රතිචාර අපි මේ රටේ ලිදරව කරන එක. ඒකත් වැදගත්. like one way communication එකක් නෙවෙයි. අපි මේකේ සංයමයක් සහ ශික්ෂණයක් හදනවා. එකිනෙකා ගැටෙන හප්පන මෙහෙන් කට්ටයක් කරන් හරියට හප්පන මේ ඒව ඕනේ.
Former Minister Harin Fernando, who was taken into custody under the charge of violating election results during the silent period, was released on bail. He was taken into custody after surrendering into Badulla police this morning. He is under the charge of conducting illegal march in the Badulla town on the 11th of this month. According to the complaint lodged by the people, the Centre for Solving Election Disputes and Badulla police jointly dispersed the march. At that time, the former minister had a heated discussion with the Badulla police. After being taken into custody, Harin Fernando was produced before Badulla magistrate courts today. Later, he was released on personal bail worth 500,000 rupees. He was ordered to appear before the courts on the 20th of March next year.
Now taking a look at the weather update, an earth mound has fallen onto a house at Galhebatta area in Madamahanuvara, killing a 16-year-old child. It is reported that the mother, the grandmother and two brothers of the deceased who were in the house at that time have received minor injuries. The injured persons have received treatment from the Madamahanuvara Regional Hospital, and the victim was an individual who was ready to sit for the GC Advanced Level Examination this year. The water supply of the Ella tourism zone has been restored. The major water supply line was damaged due to an earth slip occurred at Demodara Galwal areas along the Badulla Bandaravela main road. The Road Development Authority has repaired the pipeline, and our correspondent says that the water supply to Badulla, Demodara, Haliala and several other areas have returned to normalcy at present. Meanwhile, the vehicular traffic along the Badulla Bandaravela main road has been limited to one lane. The National Building Research Organisation has further extended the landslide warning issued under Stage 1 for 5 districts. Accordingly, Kalatara district, Imbulpe, Upanayaka, Balangada, Ratnapura and Palmaral areas in the Ratnapura district, Bulatko, Hupeti, Varakapula, Ruanbella and Yatiyantor areas in the Kegal district are under this warning. In addition, Naramala, Ridigam and Alawa areas in the Kurnagala district also under the landslide warning. Padegam, Alpitia and Nagada areas in the Gaul district were also declared today as landslide-prone areas. The Met Department says many provinces in the district will have showers or thunder showers today. Sporadic showers may occur in the northern and eastern provinces and heavy rains over 75 millimeters are expected in the western and Sabaragamu provinces and in Gaul and Madra districts. The sea areas around the island will be fairly rough. Beliatta-Tengal main road has gone underwater due to the Mahababa tank in Sitan Malua area. Panadugam area along the Akrasa-Siambalangoda road has gone underwater, causing disruption to road traffic. Some roads at Dadiyagalam-Bangama and Malidua are also underwater. Several roads have gone underwater in the Batikal district as well.
Chinese ambassador in Sri Lanka, Zi Seng Hong, says that China's hope is that to sell all communities in Sri Lanka living in a united free state. He made these remarks at a media briefing at the Jaffna Media Society Centre yesterday. He said that he engaged in a tour in the northern province to meet people in Jaffna, people in the north for the first time, and have a supportive political leader in the south. Accordingly, the National People's Power won the huge victory at the recent election. He added that he was confirmed by the fact that the people in Jaffna are keen on national reconciliation. He added that the Chinese government has granted many contributions for the well-being of the people in Jaffna.
Sivanesha Thurai Chandrakanta alias Pillayan today arrived at the Criminal Investigation Department in response to a call by the CID. He was called to the CID since his name was mentioned in the program broadcast by the Channel 4 TV on Easter Sunday attacks recently. The CID wanted to record a statement from Pillayan regarding the relevant video aired by Channel 4. In response to a question by media, Pillayan mentioned that he came to the CID to give a statement over the comment made by Asad Maulana in the Channel 4 TV. He said that the CID should find out the mastermind of the Easter attack. In response to another question, he further said that he is not connected to this incident whatsoever, and he added that he is not scared of any allegation.
අනිවාර්යෙන් සම්බන්ධ නැහැ. බය නැහැ. මොකද බය? ඔබතුමා බන්ධනාගාරේ ඉඳන් මේක ඔවුන් සමග සැලසුම් කළා කියලා තමයි ඔබතුමාට තියෙන චෝදනාව. ඔය කෙනේ ඒකනේ.
Former parliamentarian J. Sri Ranga was also called to the CID to record a statement from him regarding the illegally assembled vehicle belonging to former parliamentarian Sujivasena Singha. Sri Ranga is the one who had first imported the controversial vehicle. Former parliamentarian J. Sri Ranga said that he is unaware of why he was asked to come to the CID and that the present government is unable to concipy a case and file against him. Foreign news on the other side of this break.
Kamuda machan, prima kotumi, fantamai.
Non foreign news, the United States Embassy in Ukraine's capital of Kiev stated that it would be closed today after it received specific information of a potential significant air attack.
Meanwhile, Ukraine used United States Army tactical missile system missiles to strike Russian territory.
As a result of the specific information of a potential significant air attack, the United States Embassy will be closed and embassy employees are being instructed to shelter in place. The embassy's message comes days after United States President Joe Biden's administration authorized Kyiv to use Army tactical missile system inside Russian territory. The Russian Defense Ministry asserted that Ukraine fired 6 US-made Army tactical missile system into Russia's Bryansk region. According to the ministry, 5 of the missiles were intercepted while 1 missile was damaged. Russian officials have warned multiple times that such actions could escalate tension and provoke a significant response.
Prima Kotumi, Fantamai.
And here's a look at your sports news tonight.
Yemen won the second mutual football match against Sri Lanka. The match was played in Qatar yesterday. Yemeni's team scored the first goal in the first half of the match. Sri Lanka attempted to record a goal in several locations, but the Yemeni goalkeeper was successful in preventing them. In the 95th minute of the match, Yemen recorded its second goal. Accordingly, the Yemen won the match 2-0. The two-series match was tied by both teams. That's it for tonight's English News telecast. Thank you for joining us. Good night.
Good night.